Today is April 18th. Day before my birthday, actually. I'm just taking pictures for Instagram. I can't believe I'm still using a $460 phone. From the S25 Ultra to the Nothing Phone 3A Pro. I mean, the experience has been quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. Watch the video. You'll understand why. Also, please like and subscribe.
C'è la luna mezza mare, mamma mia, figlia mia, cutterara, mamma mia, pensaccia tu. Se ti dogni alla musicante, ti vai, ti viene sempre lo strumento in mano. Se ci pigliavano sì, lo strumento, figlia mia, oh mamma, zumba zumba baccola, oh mamma, zumba zumba baccola, oh mamma, zumba zumba baccola, zumba 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 baccola.
I went to Milan with this phone and I had a blast. In fact, I came back from the trip and I was still using it.
You're too lazy to switch back to the S25 Ultra.
I think I've said it enough within this trip, but it is one hell of a phone for the price. It takes great pictures, it's got enough custom settings to get you going, great screen, battery life is superb, and Nothing OS has been much better, but not perfect because... Wait, you know what? Let me tell you my story, okay? And I'll close this off with my Nothing OS 3.0 experience. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Oh, and by the way, this video is sponsored by Lark. This is probably the best bottle you can bring with you while you travel.
I'm on a love deadline. Gotta make it to you. I'm running out of time. I'm trying to find a way to make you mine. I'm on a love deadline. I gotta make it. Don't wanna lose you. I'm on a love deadline. Gotta tell the end
Morning,
of
guys.
the
My phone's at 44%. I run out of plugs, you know, like the European plugs. I didn't have enough, and I had to charge the computer, the camera, a bunch of other stuff. So I decided to charge my Anchor battery first so I could charge the phone, which I'm at 45%, and it's 8:44 in the morning. I just want to see how long it's going to take to charge to 100% with this thing right here. Anyways, today we are going to Lake Como. I'm going to take you guys with me. It's gonna be fun.
You know, there's so much that happened before that day. Not only did I completely ditch my S25 Ultra for this, but I had to completely transfer every single thing I had in my Samsung. I had to learn this phone, what this button did, what Nothing OS 3.0 had to offer. I also played with the glyph for a bit, and just overall, I was trying to see what in the world I was getting myself into. So yeah, a few days were spent with this phone prior to my departure. The day I left, I packed my bottle, my laptop, and I decided to get this last minute case where I decided to stick some ESR rings I bought online. There was no way in hell I was going to survive without MagSafe. With 96% on Saturday, as I was making my way to the airport to take my flight to Milan, I was ready to go eat a ton of pasta. That's for sure. I also had to register my left thumb on this phone. I forgot to do that.
The only reason I gotta register my left thumb is because I'm often holding a camera with the right hand and holding my phone with the left hand. So yeah, I forgot to do that.
I don't know about you guys, but I love being at airports. I love the chilling before getting into the plane, working a bit if I need to, and then my favorite part out of all of that has always been the plane ride. And I was smart enough to set up 2 clocks on my home screen to keep track of time locally, which then led me to setting myself up for a nice ride where I watched some movies, worked on my laptop, and listened to some music. When we landed in Milan, I had ordered an Uber. Very expensive, by the way, but it's because it's fashion week.
Bruh.
I'm just testing things out before I actually get to review the phone within one day. And up to now, the camera is pretty impressive for 500 bucks. 6X doesn't look bad.
Look, my goal for this trip was to make a day in the life. But then I was like, I'm going to be using this phone every day, so why not just document the entire experience while I'm at it? I feel like it would give you guys a really good idea as to what to expect with a phone like this, more so with usability and battery life. I was actually at 65% after leaving home, chilling at the airport, flying for 8 hours, and doing some research regarding my laptop. I want to say I got to the hotel at around 11 a.m. in Milan, a city that I find absolutely fun, more or less because I can ride these scooters around and have fun. Luckily, my phone actually fits here, which makes navigation quite a lot easier. We walked Milan quite a bit. In fact, this is the first day I really started taking pictures with this phone. If I remember correctly, I was taking pictures in 12 megapixels and 50 megapixels, testing different focal lengths to see how these would turn out. You let me know down below what you think before I give you guys my opinion, and just know that this is a 50 megapixel camera system with an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 50 megapixel front facing camera. Now, I could have easily set up my camera button to be within my lock screen, but I set that up as a QR code scanner. We had found a restaurant that day, and usually when you travel, a lot of these have QR codes as their menus. I actually thought it was quite clever. Yeah. But then it hit me. My dumb self forgot to download some assets for a video I had going live at 4 p.m. Luckily, I was able to use Parsec. I think Carl Pace said the S Pen was useless, but let me tell you, logging into your desktop at home on Parsec with these tiny little icons definitely made me wish I had the S Pen. It would have made my drag and dropping experience into the drive from Explorer a lot easier.
Yo, I swear there's no app like Parsec. The fact that I can just log into my machine at the studio with this freaking phone just because, well, I forgot to transfer some of the assets I usually use when a video is about to go live. I forgot to put those on the Google Drive or download them locally on my phone because I've been changing phones and stuff. But I was able to actually drag them all into Google Drive and then download them on Google Drive on the phone here. And now I can just post on Twitter and post on Instagram when the video goes live in like 12 minutes. But that is just absolutely freaking insane. And I was just using LTE or 5G. And I was just, in the middle of Milan. And I did it. You know how good that is? That's insane. Battery life, it's currently at 36% and it's 3:48, but it is actually 9:48 a.m. in Montreal. So battery has been lasting for quite a while, since like 4:45 p.m. Not bad.
So posting on social media, it's actually a mediocre experience, but let me tell you why. I feel like it's mainly because of RAM. Like if you have a lot of apps open, running in the background, it can feel sort of slow at times. It's never when typing and writing captions though, it's more when I'm like navigating the UI while content or my whole gallery is sort of loading. It really isn't the end of the world. It's something I realized and I don't find it's a big deal. However, if you come from a flagship phone, it's definitely something you'll realize. I don't remember what else I did that night. If I recall, I think we had eaten at a restaurant. I tried to vlog that as well, just to show you some video quality, but failed at it. I do remember, however, coming back to the hotel with about 7% left. And on top of that, the phone was asking me to make an update that supposedly improved some bugs within Nothing OS 3.0.
I have like these assets I want to transfer to the laptop. The only thing is that even if I connect to the hotel's Wi-Fi, it doesn't work if I want to use local send. So like basically local send is this app that allows you to send like files between like Linux, Windows, iOS, iPad, macOS, whatever you guys want. And I'm using Android, so I want to just transfer my files from my Android to my Android device to my Windows laptop. And I think I'm gonna have to just hotspot the laptop so I can do so. I'll show you. So I lock it and I can just click on the little hotspot button right there. And then I can just go and connect to my Nothing phone somewhere here. There you go. Right here. Connect to that and then it should appear right here. So let me show you. If you want to send media, you click on media and then you can click on all the stuff you kind of want to send, right? Let me just do all this stuff. Right, so I've got like 62 assets I want to send to the computer. So I click on confirm, then I click on the device I want to send it to. And then you see how it's just prompting me to accept these files. There you go. So it's super quick. Like it's really, really quick. It'll take less than a minute for sure. So that's basically been my workflow for the past like, not 3 months because I just discovered this app thanks to a few people on TikTok, which is super nice. But
Yeah, this is awesome. It's been the workflow for the past like 2-3 weeks, I want to say, and it works really well. And that was pretty much the end of my first day. The next day I woke up jet lagged in my hotel room, mouth dry. My first instinct is to always grab some water, but the only thing around was the bathroom sink. Normally I'd be like, yeah, nah, mainly because I once read that 86 million Americans are exposed to lead through tap water, but I had my Lark bottle with me, so I just filled that up right from the tab. I then hit the button, let it do its thing, and that's pretty much it. No stress. The crazy part is that it actually cleans the water in the bottle. It's like you get to say goodbye to smelly bottles. The water also doesn't taste like chlorine or sketchy hotel pipes either. Honestly, I started bringing this everywhere just because I got tired of buying plastic bottles, and plastic bottles are just not good for you either way. I think the statistics are that like 1 million plastic bottles end up in the landfill every single minute. I'm often on the go or in places where the water's questionable, and this solves that without me thinking twice. I even use it at the office where we have a public bathroom, and it keeps me infinitely more hydrated. The Nano Zero filter takes care of stuff like chlorine, PFAS, and even pharmaceuticals. But if you're heading to a city, especially one with older infrastructure, Lark recommends upgrading to the advanced filter. It's designed to handle lead and a broader range of contaminants that might be lurking in the water. And then there's the PureVis UVC tech that zaps away most bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. Then the app low-key nags me every time I forget to drink, which is great because I've been focusing on mostly drinking water as my New Year resolution. The app really allows you to stay put and really keep track of your water intake. So yeah, this is my Obsidian Black 680 milliliters bottle. It's got that 2-stage filtration and purification with great insulation that keeps your water cold for up to 24 hours, a detachable handle, and a wide opening that easily fits ice cubes. Anyways, if you want to stay hydrated and drink clean water wherever you go, I'll leave a link in the description and a pinned comment for the bottle.
I actually stayed late last night just watching Severance. If you guys haven't watched Severance by now, it's actually a really good show. I really enjoy it. It's kind of addicting towards the end. You just keep watching and watching. This literally went off this morning and I thought someone was calling the room. I was so confused as to what was happening. I gotta change that.
Usually when I'm away, I still need to answer to emails. I'm currently working on a huge house renovation project, and I've been working a lot on that to make a makeover series. I got a few contracts from the contractor to sign, but the thing I miss about my S25 Ultra is having the pen so I can sign PDFs. Regardless of that, I realized my PDF was locked, which meant I could not sign anything. And to unlock a PDF, you 100% need a computer. There was no way around it apparently. By 10:51, I was heading to the ASUS venue. I was running the phone at about 71%. Look, this is something you guys will get to see within our G14 video. The whole point of this venue was to showcase the ZenBook and some Vivo books. Asus is currently working on some sick materials for this laptop and invited a bunch of us to take a look at them. I just decided to make this fun and make a Nothing phone review while I'm here.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I think the post-processing on the Nothing phone is kind of better than the S25 Ultra. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm whack. Just feels so much better. Let me show you. Take a look at this. You guys find the pictures just look so much better and cleaner?
This is when I started realizing that the pictures often had the right amount of contrast and the colors are also really good. They aren't perfect all the time, but they do a really good job with post-processing, especially in auto HDR.
You guys let me know what you think.
By the way, this was the first time I ran into something that bugged me about the phone, but somehow I kept activating my airplane mode in my pocket. I guess having that feature on my lock screen made it easy to trigger by accident in my pocket. Yeah, I had to film a few things within this event. The vibes here definitely match this phone, let me tell you that. Up until that point, I can confidently say that I do love the look of the Nothing Phone 3.8 Pro. Side profile is nice, but it is plastic. The back of it is tempered glass. The camera bump is not as bad as I thought it would be. I do find this thing looks overall like it was made by Lego, but I don't find it does it in a cheap way. The aluminum accents are nice. This is IP64 though, it could be better. And the buttons feel great to the touch, so no complaints there. I think overall I give it a 7 out of 10. I will say though, it seems like the USB-C port kinda gets dirty quickly.
My Nothing OS experience has been actually really interesting. It's a smooth experience. I wasn't expecting it to be like so because I've been reading so many posts on Reddit. But apparently Nothing OS 3.0 is a lot better and it feels really good. It's really nice. It feels a bit better than what a $500 phone would deliver, right? It's not like One UI 7. It's not like super snappy, super crazy, but it's still really, really good. And the post-processing of the camera is amazing. Other than that, there are really cool features that I want to experiment with, like the AirPods experimental feature or something like that. Up to now, I don't have much to say. But tomorrow that I'm going to be spending more of like a casual day with it, I'll talk about some more stuff because it's really cool. And I also missed that like 3-finger swipe down for screenshot. There's no like text extraction, an automatic text extraction. You kind of got to use Google Lens for it, which is totally fine. But everything is simple. Like there's so many features. There's not too much, not too little. It's a nice balance. At least that's what I think. For the price, it's nice. I still gotta like live a bit more with it.
Up until that point, I had tried my best to get to know this phone as much as possible. I literally used it the entire trip, whether I was DMing people, sending voice notes, posting stories, using the Lime app, navigating the city as we went shopping for Jan and my girl. I really spent a good amount of time that evening trying to understand it further, and that included playing with the cameras. Overall, the UI really sort of reminds me of the Pixel in a way, like to the point that copying addresses, for example, is quite similar to the Pixel in that manner. But yeah, I mean, I found my experience to be very similar to what I had experienced with a Google phone.
There are just some things you can't do on a phone. Like for example, disabling all the security preferences on a PDF, so I couldn't do that on the phone. So I'm gonna do that on the laptop because I need to send some documents for our renovation work.
Oye, oye, mi gente, mira, mira, dale. Así, así, así. Ahora estamos en flow, pa' que sepa. Miguelito, Master One.
Oh my god, I kind of got car sick. I was on the computer on my way here, and I never get car sick, which is super odd. I was reading some comments on Reddit. I'm trying to gather opinions about Nothing OS from multiple people, whether they like it or not. So I'm just trying to see what people's experiences have been like. I'm not trying to get influenced by the comments, that's for sure. I'm just trying to have my own experience and maybe talk about some of the things I've seen online. One thing I need to do though is to enable NDOT. So I'll do that now. I'll enable that and we'll go from there.
And so that's what I did, although I had to look on Reddit on how to do it because I had forgotten where it was.
That took me a while to find.
So here it was, in Lake Como, where I found my first UI bug. The auto HDR toggle kept disappearing. There were lots of discoveries for me though that day. And for others too, like when they discovered I didn't like coffee. Anyways, screen brightness outside is decent. Phone fits in most pockets quite well, although the screen loves to pick up dust. Anyways, look, this was the day I wanted to test the camera a bit more. I do find that Nothing OS 3.0 has a good amount of camera settings. The UI is very similar to any other phone really when it comes to scrolling through the modes, and the more menu can be rearranged. That along the horizontal menu within the camera app. So that's available to you. Overall, the camera settings are pretty darn simple, to be honest. This isn't a phone you buy for its camera, but it's a phone you upgrade to for its cameras. I took pictures with the entire focal range of this phone at 12 megapixels. Really good, honestly. However, the stabilization past like 30x is incredibly difficult to handle. It's like not doable. So if you want to zoom into objects to take a look at them, good luck. Photos in darker areas are honestly not bad at all. It handles yellow light quite well, especially in places where there is incoming blue light and yellow light as well. I actually really like that. The photo gallery is also stable from what I saw, but I like using Google Photos better.
Yeah, I do want to say something. It's been a week I've been back, but I've been finding myself using the gallery app a lot more than Google Photos. It is super simple and very well sorted. Very, very well sorted. I really, really like this app.
However, I really like the Essential Spaces app. Really cool concept, but it seems to be buggy at the moment. I can't even take a look at all the content I saved. When I went back to the office, I really discovered how powerful it can be. It's really good at capturing memories on screen, adding voiceovers to that, saving voice notes. Very powerful and a really cool feature, but extremely buggy. And then I found another weird bug.
Just little bugs, like for example, my HDR sort of disappearing, and then I gotta go in the menu and sort of toggle it back. And I almost dropped my phone right there. Holy crap. And then, oh, well, the brightness, it's kind of odd. Like if I tweak the brightness, let's say I have it like a full, put it in my pocket, take my phone out, and then the brightness, even though it's not an automatic, goes to like mid 60s, 65, and I have to like readjust it. That's kind of weird. Those are the bugs for now, I think. God damn, guys. God damn, guys, look at that. So nice. Imagine coming down with the GT3. Must be crazy. So we are in Villa Mills.
I took some really nice pictures here. We were in like this private garden. You know what's actually absolutely insane? Someone actually owns this entire piece of land, including the house you'll see in a bit. So no, it's not the government who owns this. This is actually privately owned. Every single little building here is said to be owned by a duke, Prince Fulco Gallarati Scotti. Absolutely wild because it's such a nice place. It's almost picturesque, which is why I was taking all kinds of pictures.
You guys tell me, you let me know, but I find that in these sort of phone reviews, or at least experiences where I'm just trying to film my experience with these phones, I feel like it's better to just take regular pictures, like what you guys would take, sort of. Just a regular picture here and there, and just like sort of memory pictures, and show what the camera looks like. Does that make sense? Is that fair to you guys, especially with these phones? Because I know a lot of you guys are not photographers, and that's totally fair. So you just want a nice little camera that can just save memories and make them look cool. Does that make sense?
I started taking a few more 50 megapixel pictures so you can take a look at them. You can really zoom into these ones. They look super sharp and super nice to the naked eye, but honestly, the type of person that will most likely buy this phone won't notice it unless they start zooming into things. 50 megapixels is also available at 1x and 3x, but 12 megapixels is just as good, honestly. The pictures turn out just as nice. Oh, by the way, this is a really nice church. It was actually super nicely done. Also owned by the Duke, which is like right next to the house. The whole house is right next to this church. It's absolutely crazy.
It's kind of hard to see the screen on the sun. It is 3000 nits though. I feel like it's a bit dimmer than other phones I've tried, but not by much. But put it in the sun, yo, my eyes are hurting. ¿Cómo va todo? Estamos caminando esta mañana, está un poquito tarde, porque teníamos un tour de... Yo estoy cerca de usted, estoy en Italia, estoy trabajando aquí ahorita en Italia nada más 2-3 días. You know, I feel like no one ever shows this stuff, but you guys want to see two worlds collide? It's like the Marvel universe.
It is a headphone that has amazing sound quality, a smart TX control system that allows...
Crazy, right? I always find myself kind of out of place being with these people. I'm like, what the hell? I used to watch them so much, and now I'm like here. It's kind of crazy, huh?
Oh, yo, check these out, okay? I took some of these pictures in like native resolution, if you guys want to call it, and then I took them in RAW. Take a look at how they look, and then I edited them on Lightroom Mobile, which surprisingly, by the way, edits really well with barely any stutters and quite the smooth experience. I honestly wasn't expecting that, knowing how much the phone can stutter while doing other tasks. Anyways, I posted this on social media and people seemed really impressed with it. Like, honestly, I'm also really impressed with it as well. We had such a nice boat ride around Como with Carl freezing his app off, but it was honestly a really cool experience, and using this screen anywhere I was also added to my phone journey. So the display, definitely a few settings to be discovered here. You've got the ability to achieve better colors, the ability to have a high dynamic refresh rate, and the ability to customize your status bar with icons you might need, along with choosing what type of font you'd want, Roboto or Inter. This does seem to come with what appears to be some sort of screen protector. You need to remove it if you want to apply an actual one. And like I said, this screen definitely gathers a lot of fluff, but I didn't really mind it all that much because honestly, I really enjoy using it. Also, it's got the extra dim function in case you need it. I always use it at night.
I'm so stupid, I forgot to take off the extra dim feature off the screen. That's why I was complaining a bit about the brightness.
Yeah, look, it's a tad brighter. It actually makes a difference. 3000 nits started looking like 3000 nits outdoors, and then my phone automatically dimmed itself again.
Like literally my phone went from the sun into the shade, and it went down by like 50%. And I'm talking about the brightness, and I don't have auto brightness on. So I think that's a bug. It has to be a bug, because I don't have it on. Yeah, I wish I could have filmed that.
I tried to replicate that, but with no luck. Look, believe it or not, I was coming to the end of my entire trip. We had to take a bus back to Milan, where I watched a movie with my earbuds, edited on Lightroom, read some articles, and browsed Twitter. I had a bunch of stuff open, really. When I got back to the hotel, I was at 51%. I still had a dinner to attend before the final goodbye, and my poor Uber driver accidentally canceled the trip, so he needed my phone to reinstate it, mainly because we were headed to eat at a 3 Michelin star restaurant that we were invited to. And then when I came back to the hotel, I was at 31%.
12:31 a.m. Just came back from the restaurant. We were sitting, I don't know if you guys can see that, but 31%. That's pretty impressive for this phone. I'm not gonna lie. Check this out. This is what my usage was today. I have to admit though, usually I'm more on social media, like more Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I can click here and check out this detailed utilization. You know, from like 10 a.m. all the way to right now. That's what the battery depletion has looked like. Here's the part that's
Okay, so Nothing OS. I've been using this since April 3rd. Today is April 13th. Thoughts? I wish this had global search, to be honest. Having the Google search bar within the lock screen is not enough in my opinion. Like every time I look for a setting, I have to really work for it. I do love, however, the current app drawer smart list type. It's still in beta, but I found that throughout my trip I often got the right apps suggested within their proper categories. I think it's definitely worth to keep working on it. And then within its settings, you can actually toggle the always show keyboard when swiping up. I like having the ability to decide that for myself, whether I want that or not. And then the other thing that I find really cool is that there's like no bloatware. It's almost like what you see is pretty much what you get. Of course, they have their own apps like the camera app, the gallery app, weather, and essential spaces, but that's about it really. And I really like how simple Nothing OS can be and how customizable it is. It's not as good as One UI 7 in that aspect, but it's very similar to the Pixel phone. However, Nothing pretty much implemented their own twist. I love the small little things, like if you take a screenshot by mistake, you can delete that directly. The glyph, which I find cool, it's easy and cool to use for timers, timing Ubers, as a flashlight if you want. And then having the ability to use some special features like Endot, which is a really popular font to use among the community. There's also the AirPods feature. I tested it, works well from what I experienced. Pop-up views, I think this is a must for Android phones, and it's so nice to have it within. I used that quite a bit throughout my trip. Now the widgets, incredibly clean. This might be my favorite widgets up to now, and I love how nice and simple it is to customize your lock screen and home screen. You can really add your own twist to this phone. So Nothing OS, combined with what Android 15 has to offer, like, you know, side-loading apps and the emulation and all that cool stuff, it really makes this a really wonderful experience for the most part. And I say that because it's not perfect. When I first got it, it felt a bit slow, and I thought heading to developer options and changing the animations to 0.5x would help. And although it did, sometimes you can tell you are using a $500 phone. I've had all kinds of apps running in the background or at the same time while using my phone, and there's been instances where things just start to lag. Like social media apps can lag and become stuttery. Lightroom can stutter, but after editing quite a few images. I thought this was only because of RAM and the specs and whatnot, But I think it also has to do with the CPU. Look, this here's quite a big topic within the community. And for the most part, it seems like this is how nothing is able to sell a phone like this at this price range. People wonder why these phones couldn't come with a Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 instead of the 7S Gen 3. And then also the fact that they used UFS 2.2 storage instead of UFS 3.1 or UFS 4.0. This is allegedly, by the way. And so on paper, it makes things even slower. But you know what's interesting is that you'll only realize this stuff if you come from a high-end phone. So in my opinion, I don't know if it's worth upgrading chips because I feel like the CPU will regardless just bottleneck your storage and bottleneck your RAM. Or at least, well, that's my opinion. But the matter of the fact is that getting a phone at this price with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 50 watts of charging, great materials, and a design that's really nice, plus a really nice telephoto lens, I think it's kind of a good deal. But of course, there's always good competition out there because apparently the OnePlus Nord 4, which is around the same price, has better specs and it's a better experience, but I haven't tried it for myself. Aside from the minor bugs I experienced, I think Essential Spaces is sick, but it needs work. I also don't like how you need to hold and drag to close all the apps. I think the screenshot button should be replaced by a close all button. The pre-applied screen protector also just sucks. It scratches super easily and leaves blemishes. And then I do think the ultra-wide lens needs some work. The quality on that definitely lacks. On the other hand, taking pictures straightforward from an app like WhatsApp, Instagram, Google Drive, the quality seems to be pretty stable and decent. Yeah, I think that's about it. I do think that for the money, it can be worth it. Check this out, okay? Nothing offers, for the most part, a good OS. No bloatware. It's simple, it has a great design, good cameras for the price, a really nice screen, and a cool community from what I've seen. Honestly, I can't believe this is $460, and I come from an S25 Ultra and I haven't had the urge to like run back towards my phone, which I thought it was going to happen, but it hasn't. So I guess that's a really good thing. Anyways, that is my opinion. I don't feel like I've been getting tortured at all. Let me know your thoughts. I try to make in-depth reviews with real life experiences, so it gives you guys an idea of what you can expect with tech. Anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I guess I'll see you guys all next week. Take care. I'm going to be giving this away. If you guys follow the Instagram private chat, well, you guys know you can win stuff in there, so that's going in there. This is for you hardcore supporters, for the people that watch the videos all the way through. I'm giving this away and it's going to be on Instagram, so you guys want to participate, don't forget to join that chat, and I'll announce the winner there in like a month and a half or whatever.